Hello everyone, and welcome to this live stream on this wonderful Sunday evening. Well, it's evening for me, considering this, how many people from my audience are from America. It's most likely afternoon for you. Although, then again, America is a lot because Europe is just split among smaller countries. Happy whatever it is. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. There's nothing special. You know, nothing bad, nothing particularly good. Just, you know, living normal life. The funny thing, by the way, now you asked me this and I respond like this. A while ago, someone asked me how I was. You know, random, you know, as you do. And I said, I'm okay. You know, how was your past week? It was okay. And they were like, what's wrong? Because the standard response is kind of, I'm good. Or, you know, I've had a good day. If it's a normal day, you say it's good. But good kind of means better than average. So, my response was, it's okay. Because it was an okay week. It was a standard week. For me. Nothing special either way. And it's kind of different kind of expectations of what words mean what. The Americans got to have an extra hour of sleep last night, that's true. Not all of them though. Because some states do not observe daylight savings time. For example, in Hawaii, which is pretty much on the equator, there's not much use for it. Hey bro, how you doing? It's called Dutch directness. She was also Dutch, so even in the Netherlands, saying I'm good, that you trying to, you know, het gaat goed, I'm good, that is also kind of expected. When they ask how you are, they mean hello. Yeah, but she was Dutch. She literally meant, you know, how have you been doing? It wasn't any ambiguous in that way. I'm here for the coasters and I will not be disappointed. Well, you're already not disappointed because there are some interesting coasters here already on the screen. These are custom parks. This is a custom Open RCT2 intro. Because what I've done, I used to have the Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 intro for a long time, but what I've done now, and there's an option for that, is random title sequence. So whenever I start up the game, I get up a different title sequence. Hang on, does this work? Do I now get a different one? Yes, now I get the RCT1 title sequence. Let's see what other ones we can get. Okay, that's Open RCT again. That's again Open RCT. And this is either Loopy Landscape or Added Attractions. I don't know which of the two. Let's see, where's Haunted Harbor? Ah, this is Added Attractions then. Not to be that guy, but you should show my spaghetti pile. I will not. Because you kind of said you should. But if anyone wants to check it out for themselves, it's in the Discord. And it is pretty cool. Diamond Heights will always have a special place in my heart. Yes, same. Diamond Heights is really cool. It's one of my favorite. It's probably my favorite RCT1 scenario. It is just amazing. I mean, you got this junior coaster. I think, yeah, Arachnophobia, and it's wonderful. It's just I've always loved this element specifically. I love this element. It's great, and how it goes under the path here. And of course you have the classic railway, and you have, well, the massive... They're not that massive, but as a kid they were absolutely massive. Agoraphobia and claustrophobia. And up until like a year ago, when I finally decided to Google what agoraphobia meant, I didn't know that they're opposites. Claustrophobia means being afraid of small rooms or small spaces. We all know that. Agoraphobia means being afraid of big and open spaces. Which is fun. And they have this merry-go-round on this kind of platform with the coaster coming under it. It's also very classic. You have the Doppelganger, which was just named Wooden Wild Mine Ride 1 in America for some reason. And of course the Snake River Falls. Hi Max, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. What's the most difficult scenario in the first 3 games? I haven't played them all actually. I kind of got bored doing the expansions at some point. Because they're all pretty much the same, you know. I think that Rainbow Valley is annoying more than difficult maybe. Like some of these aren't particularly easy. I don't really know what the most difficult one is. Maybe something like Terror Town or something, or Venus Ponds, I don't know. Probably one of the expert ones, because Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 actually had kind of a good... Like, the expert ones were actually expert, instead of Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, where it mostly seems random. So yeah, I don't know, maybe it's Joffrey Gardens. Which is kind of... it's kind of Evergreen Gardens version 2. Although, I must say, now that I look at it, the landscape is a bit more difficult than Evergreen Gardens, but it does look more beautiful. Look at these. With the path going under it and the giraffes on top of it. That's lovely. Ooh, a little graveyard. This is, yeah, basically Extreme Evergreen Gardens on steroids. I like this. I really, really like this. Yes. But it's a bit quiet in this park. So let's get to the good stuff. And let's see. GigaPark. Alright, let's already save it as a version 3. So I don't lose version 1 accidentally again. Which I did last time. I got it back because I already uploaded it, so I could just download it again. But now it'll be at version 3. What's your opinion on Planet Coaster? Good game, but also quite different. So it's not really comparable. Follow and name a guest. Well, you can name a guest, and I'll just pick a random one. Or you can, you know, choose a number or whatever. And we'll follow it, and you get to name it. Or I could just pick the next one that's going into the park, because it'll have a large chance of staying for a while. There's also one that's just name a guest, which is cheaper and you can do it more often. But the follow one, I don't want to do that often, because then we'll get a lot of notifications. Get a new one. Well, you still gotta make up a name. I'll pick this one. Name a guest. Alright, I'll name this guest. That's for Max. This was Max's idea, by the way, these channel points. XXX Swag Master 69 XXX. Call of Duty Master. Alright, name after me. Slain. And we'll follow them. Also, whoever told me last stream that this was in Rollercoaster Open, was also in Vanilla. That's just not true. This was added this very update, like a month or two ago, in Open RCT 2. Yeah, you can't drown these guests. Well, you can. You can drown your own if you want, but no one else can drown it. Okay, so this is the mega park we have at the moment. That's how Cody does these videos. Well, only the last few months, I suppose. But yeah, I never knew that it was in the game until, like, Tuesday or whatever. Oh yeah, we had the Candyland idea, because we have the Egypt bit is pretty much done. You know, we can do some touch-ups in the future. Like, one of the touch-ups I want to do right now is make it so that this isn't as sharp an angle. So it'll look a little bit better. There we go. I raise the water. There we go. That's much better. Candyland, yeah, because this was like the desert, and then we had the dessert next to it. Drown a guest of your choice. XXX Swagmaster. Yeah, so that's not gonna happen. You know that. I just said that. Fluffy little kittens. You can still pick another one, or you can ask Max to refund. But we're not gonna drown XXX Swagmaster. That fountain area is a hay fever sufferer's nightmare. I suppose it is. Well, it depends on what you're hay fevering for. Because I don't think I would have any problems with that. Let's see. Do we have... We don't have the candy theme. Oh, we do have this whole stuff. Right, all of extra stuff. Anyway. We're now in a different update, so hang on. If I just do this, object selection, and if I just deselect and reselect every theme, that should work. Although some items may be missing. I wonder which. Let's see if this fixes that whole stuff. No, it doesn't. Oh well. Anyway, I want candy theme. I want the candy theme. So, what can we miss? What is a theme that we can miss? That we can do without? Alright, see ya, Max. Have a nice dinner. Can we do without abstract? I suppose we could do without abstract. Roman. I like Roman, though. Especially, well, mostly the Roman temple thing. Dinos are cool. If we're gonna do the candy one today, we're not gonna get to dinos today, but maybe in the future. I mean, there's a lot of walls and stuff that we might not need. I mean, those beanstalks kind of fit within the candy, I suppose. There's a lot of stuff that I would like to use potentially. Could of course deselect some of these walls. Thank you for the follow, CUV. And also Fire Princess 4 minutes ago. Apologies for missing that. Yeah, what can we miss? I mean, we've already used the castle stuff. We can still deselect it though. Hang on, if we just deselect castle theming, or medieval theming, then we have just deselected quite a few scenery items, because only the ones we've used are in here. So, if I now do object selection again, I can do candy theme. Where's candy? Hang on, shouldn't candy theme be in here? I mean, there's Wonderland theme, but that's a different one. What's candy theme called? Pretty sure there was a... Wonderland wasn't the candy. No. There was one which was extremely similar. Okay, there's still not enough. Let's deselect spooky. Hang on, that's impossible. I think that error is just not true. Hang on, let me see. How many do we have selected? Let's do advanced. Oh, there are 252 small ones. But the candy theme isn't that big. Yeah, we're missing quite a few candy. We only have 3 candy trees here. Hang on. You say it's called giant candy. Oh, there it is. Yeah, giant candy theming. But we haven't got all of them. Or are they here? No. Because we have too much selected. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna deselect everything. And then we'll just select... Well, not everything. You know, we need gardens and stuff, of course. And then we'll just select whatever we need. Let's see. Deselect Jurassic. Deselect Mechanical. Mine theming. I'm keeping all the 6 standard ones, of course. Because I like those. Well, I also keep water feature, because that's nice. Alright. What we have now is... Why do we still have all this stuff selected? I specifically deselected this. We haven't used that yet. Why is this... Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna... object selection. Filter. Selected only. Advanced. I'm just gonna deselect everything. Everything that I can, that I haven't used. Then I'm gonna reselect themes. Because this is a mess, and that was from a bug from the previous version. And I need to get rid of this mess. Also, someone asked me how long did it take to make the thing for the tower for the most expensive tile. Not that long. Building the path was the most annoying. I did save some with a ride. And then, you know, rebuild the ride. But I couldn't do that for the top because of support limit stuff. So there I just, you know, built the path up. And then, you know, delete all the path around it that I used to build it up. I have auto clickers, yeah, so I'm not using them right now because I'm lazy. That really doesn't make any sense. But I don't care. Alright. Now, let's deselect and reselect all of these. Hang on, what? Are we already at the... How are we already at the max? It's impossible that we're already at the max. We only have a few selected. How is it not letting me select all the ones? This is completely and utterly weird. Yes, this is the maximum park size. But look at this. Hang on, advanced. Yeah, we're not even close to the max. On none of them. Well, paths, but themes aren't paths. Yet it is not selecting all of them. Like signs and items for footpaths. I want them all. There's quite a few missing here. Like, where's the bench? Oh wait, the bench is still here, never mind. It shouldn't be there. Maybe save and reload the park. Maybe that helps, but probably not. I don't think so. It's because a lot of stuff is here because I deselected the theme and then reselected it. Yeah, this is quite annoying because I'm missing quite a few nice, important scenery items. I think. Because, yeah, a lot of roofs are missing here. There's barely any of them. But I think we can do without them for now. Because they're not here right now. This is a very annoying bug. I might just have to sort all of this out on an older build at some point. Not now, of course. Anyway, what I can do though is select Wonderland. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna get all of them, of course. And Giant Candy. Okay, you know what? Screw this. We're going to an older build. Let's see. I want 0.3.3, I think. Do I have that somewhere still? No. Let me download this. I can't work with this. This isn't working. We're going back to the past. Yes, we are. All releases. 0.3.3. Let's hope nothing breaks when I load it in the older version. We'll see about that. Luckily, stuff like this installs very quickly. Because I did install 0.3.5 like a few minutes before the stream. Because it wasn't, the launcher wasn't working. Alright, there we go. Installing. It may just be bugged and think you have more categories selected than you do. It's not categories. There's a launcher cringe, bro, which automatically installs the newest version. Although this time I did it by hand. Because the newest release version released yesterday. Now we have two versions of Roller Coaster Tycoon running. Alright, let's save this one and close that one. Alright, let's see. GigaPark version 3, there we go. We're now on the other version. Is OpenRCT2 getting worse? I suppose in some aspects, but those are just bugs that will get ironed out and then that's all gone. This is interesting. The tile inspector is the T-ha inspector. There's some language stuff. That doesn't really matter though. The L isn't really working all that great in this version. A lot of bugs. Anyway, let's see. Object selection. And then we can just do... Oh, nope. We're apparently getting the same problem. It might just be the save file that's screwed. Which isn't a problem if I manually fix stuff, but that's gonna take a long time. But like, I want all the giant candy stuff. Do I have to just I don't know what they're called. I don't know how I'm gonna get all of that. I don't know what the scenery items are called. Like I know I think there's a peppermint or something. Or a mint? Hang on. Yeah, I know there's a mint. But the other ones, I don't know what they're called. You can't filter on theme. Oh, can I? Hang on. No, I can't. So that's not gonna work. Candy cane. Oh, hey, this already helps a lot. Chocolate bar. What does the filter button do? It just allows me to filter out certain things. Okay, the L not working is annoying me more than I thought it would. Okay, let's go back to the other build again, because this is annoying me, and we're not getting... It's not like this is giving us anything. Because we're still screwed. But I don't want to restart the GigaPark. Because the GigaPark, we've already done a lot of work on it. Alright, I'm running the other version again. I don't need to save this, we didn't do anything. Oh, I suppose we did select a few items, so I can select those again. That's not a problem. Alright, let's just manually select all those items. Let's see, candy. And chocolate bar. And mint. Might also want to load the save where you didn't remove all those other scenery items. Huh. Maybe not a bad idea. Although they were all in the miscellaneous. You know, I don't care. I'm just gonna fix that. Oh, they're all in miscellaneous. Why? I'm still missing some though. Licorice. Yeah. I'm still missing, there's like a bar, it's like a long thing that's lying on the ground. I know that's one I'm still missing. It's like red. Like, I think you can color it, but the standard color is red. Let's see, licorice, that's not a thing apparently. Marshmallow. Not the ones I was thinking about, but they are. Cherry. No. Maybe they're big scenery items? Fruit drop. Let's see. Yes. No, but there are still ones that are missing. Jelly bean. Yes, that jelly bean, that was what I was thinking about. That's the one that was in my head. And lollipop. We're getting there, we're getting there. Fruit drop, I had that. Jelly bean, I think we have pretty much all of them now. Which are all under here. Apart from the few that are under here. I swear there was a thing you can click on to show all these themes and pick them without issues. Well, that's kind of broken right now. Okay, I think we're gonna put our candy theme here. First, let's remove all these trees, because they're not gonna fit in our candy land. And then we're gonna pick a ground texture. This is roughly the area I had in mind for it. Cola candy, I already have that. I have everything with candy already. The chocolate chess pieces. Are these chocolate chess pieces? Not chocolate, but they're chess. Yeah, the Wonderland and Giant Candy have some overlap. Anyway, what kind of ground texture would be nice? Would be good for like a candy slash dessert land. Maybe, I mean, I was kind of thinking this is kind of Wonderland-ish. Candy only shows items that start with candy. No, they don't. Hang on. That's not true. Cola candy is in here. Black and white. Yeah, the checkerboard is classic, but it's also gonna be massive. So why just not just allow all items? It's gonna be in the new save format, but it's gonna take a bit. Yeah, just normal grass could help. And maybe just little bits of checker. But if we make everything checker, that's not... Whoops. Let's undo that. There we go. That was undone. Gotta love autosaves. Every minute. Yeah, let's just keep it to this, and let's just build a coaster and theme it candy. You know, to get us started. So we already have a junior coaster, because I've done a candy themed junior before. What would be a good candy themed coaster? Like a coaster type for a candy themed coaster. I'm thinking like a kind of a smallish coaster type. Hardline, no, go away. No! A small wooden coaster. Junior, yeah, we already have a junior, so I don't really want another at the moment. Small suspended. Mini suspended is one I'm thinking about. We could also do Wild Mouse. Virginia Reel. Oh, that's a good one. Virginia Reel, yes. I'm gonna do that. Where is it? At the top. Virginia Reel works well. Let's do the station here. Thank you for the follow. Arcturus Deluxe, and also a bit ago, Entro, Bo Vegas 89 and Amy Kate 93. Nice clip, Mike. But yeah, that's why I like the autosave function, because you can. Well, that's not the main reason I like it, by the way. The main reason is that I do some kind of setup for a video and I don't save it, and then I'm like, I need that again. And if I just go to autosaves, it'll still be there. Okay, yeah. I'm always annoyed that this setup doesn't work. Going around 3/4 and then going down again. It just doesn't fit. It does if you use larger turns, but this coaster doesn't really have access to larger turns. Crappy alternative to Ctrl-Z, basically. But it works. Alright, let's get the test cars. Let's get them again. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Because, you know, in terms of getting good stats, of course, I do have an idea what I'm doing in terms of that. But if I do, you know, I kind of want to have it also applicable, yeah, like to use scenery and stuff. And I'm not sure if how I would need to build it to look nice for that. But, you know, I'll just wing it and we'll see what happens. Build scenery and coaster together. That sounds difficult. Sounds particularly difficult. I think I'm gonna use this one for just general candy theme. And I'll do like a checkerboard somewhere later. We can actually, you know, have a chess match going on. Time to bake some cookies. Are you actually gonna bake some cookies? Nice. Or are you just playing cookie clicker? Alright, I suppose we could do something with this. Maybe it's a bit tall though. It feels quite tall. We could of course alter the landscape under that. I could make a mountain under this. You know what music we need here? I do. Well, it's not playing music right now because it's not opened. Where's the candy tile? There it is. Thanks for dropping in by my stream last week. I did? I'm sorry, I don't... Devil's Fan Game. I think I recall your name. Yeah, I know I have watched some streams. Let's go Candyman. Okay, it'll not be a very large one, of course, because it's not a very tall coaster, but... let's see, which... I think I like this one for the candy. Oh, thank you for the 2 gifted subs, Groenroos. I appreciate that. I'm guessing the reel is going to be something peppermint related? Not necessarily. What would be a good path for... Maybe that one? Maybe, you know, we can also switch it up, of course. Alright, this will come out perfectly. You know what, let's do it like that. Ah, it's not an arc. Bam. Nice. Hello, Fire Ice. Then an exit line. There we got our music. You should make a steeplechase coaster and call it Escape from Candy Mountain. Nice. That's not a bad idea. You added name a guest. Yes. Your guest won't be able to be drowned, cringe. Let's build a mountain first. Drown a guest that's about to leave the park. I'll do that in a minute. First I'm gonna show off my lead landscaping abilities. Which I've already filled at here. If I just make it a bit taller here, so it's kind of going up halfway. But the mountain has to be, of course, a bit more natural. And we can have some kind of like longer routes. So that it's not just, like, because my last mountain was basically just kind of a circle. And it had a bit of like texture variety, of course, but the shape was pretty much round. Yeah, you can only have one color of water per park. I mean, maybe OpenRCT2 can change it in the future, but I don't think that's necessarily something they're working on or have even thought about. I like this mountain a lot more already than the previous mountain. It's more varied. Now I'm just gonna use a slightly smaller tool just to do some irregularities. I'm not really doing something specific here. I'm more just doing random stuff and hoping it'll eventually look good. And usually for mountains that kind of works. There we go. Just make sure that no kind of face is too big. There just needs to be a lot of different, you know, a lot of irregularities everywhere. Which I think is kind of, you know, this doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I think this looks fairly nice. Hardest part is blending it into the terrain. Yeah, but because this terrain's already hilly, it already looks a lot better. There is still fairly sharp edges to the mountains, but it's not as bad as it could be. Alright, first I'm gonna drown Slijn's guest, one who's about to exit the park. Let's see. If we have actions, leaving the park. Hang on, I saw it somewhere here. Leaving the park. There we go. You are gonna leave the park. Nope, you're gonna drown. Well, I mean, they're leaving the park just in a different way. Guest 69, but what do you want to rename it? Likes orange. Or do you want to name any guest just guest 69? I can do that. We don't have guest 69 anymore. There we go. Let's see, do we have any notifications of the guest that we were following? No. We do have a lot of drowning notifications, but those were from earlier. There is a guest we're following. It was named Slijn, so it should be at the very bottom. Well, we're not following it, apparently. Well, now we are. Alright, welcome to your first live stream, Ringo Cat. Okay. We need a rainbow path, someone said. That's not a bad idea, actually. Thank you for the follow as well, Ringo Cat. And that's very bright. It's more hippie, but it's close enough. Alright, let's get to the coloring. Just bright all around. Okay, that just doesn't look nice. How about that one? I like that. This is about as bright as you can go. Do some brown terrain on a mountain. Make it a chocolate mountain. I mean, if I just stick a toilet on top and make it brown, then we'll have a nice chocolate mountain. Big fan of your videos. Always play RST while I listen. I've got much better at building because of you. Thank you very much. Happy to hear that. Brown. Doesn't look too candy-like, but there isn't really a candy ground texture anyway. To blend it in, I could of course use this. And then a little bit of dithering as well, later on. Because that's how you do landscapes. And, well, that's how you do transitions. Like, I'm not very good at all that stuff, but, you know, this is already a softer transition. But if you now also have a little bit of this, like that, and the other way around, then the transition will become even softer. That's something I've learned from Minecraft, actually. You know, we'll do a bit there as well. And then we'll do a bit of this in the grass. Just like that. And then as, you know, soon the other way around as well. And then it'll be a fairly natural transition. Now, I'm not an expert, so it won't be perfect by any means, but it'll be close enough. Well, we still do it, Max, because dithering is still used, for example, when dark colors on video. There we go. There's a mountain. I mean, you can kind of see that I did it in a one stroke. I'm not perfectly happy with this. Doesn't look random enough. Let's see if I... Oh, thank you for the 3 months. Stop jinxing me. I appreciate it. Maybe add some lollipop trees of different colors on the mountain. I could do that. We can color those, right? Yes, we can. Oh, bright red. Now that's a lollipop. I need to lower the density of that. And if I also make this a bit smaller. Then, if it mirrors, it's still a fairly high density. If we also do, I don't know, yellow. This is much too dense, isn't it? I kind of do like the look of it. How do you like that? Although, there's a bit more on one side of the mountain. Looks like a forest of lollipops. It looks really weird. It looks absolutely weird. I think I just need to maybe just like remove pretty much one at a random like this. Needs orange. It also just needs more... Oh, whoops. That's... What's that for? That's cola colored. And then... we need a lot more there. I kind of neglected that at first. And then... Orange. And then I think we might also need pink. And then we pretty much have the entire rainbow. LOL. This is amazing. I've never built anything like this. Purple. I think purple is a bit too much then. We've already got pink. It's close enough. There's a lot of guests here. It's almost like they're trapped. It's a bit weird. What shall we name this, by the way? Slane is on Todd. Interesting. Thank you for the follow, Baizuri Hime. Dentist Nightmare. The Lollipop Guild. The Fruit Loop, Fruity. I like the Lollipop Guild. Thank you for the follow, Smartje1994. Let's build a path just around the Lollipop Mountain. Suppose that's what it is. It's a big lollipop mountain. And we'll go down there. Slane has left Todd. Aw. What went wrong between you two? You can't just leave him. You had a life with him. Thank you for the help the last 2 weeks. Except 2 weeks ago I started playing RST again. I'm glad to help. I think the snowball popping path decoration could work here as well. Yes, they could. And I think that's interesting because I used those in that video. Also, earlier today I did a poll on which coaster is better, the looping or the wooden coaster, because they're both classic coaster types. And it was about 65-35 for the looping for the wooden coaster. So now we have the definitive answer that the the wooden coaster is better. A poll. I did it on YouTube as a community post. A friend of mine said that community posts are generally really good for growth and like attracting new people and stuff. And so I decided to do a few. I did one the previous week as well, last week, where I asked if you like to drown guests. And about 18,000 people have voted for that. Polls used to be overpowered, really? Okay, now we have at least like a full circle here again, which makes my path, makes me happy. My path planning brain. Alright, so the original idea was to name this, you know, we have Desert Land and then Desert Land. We can also just name it Candyland, or do you still think Desert Land is a good idea? Sugar Rush, Desert Land. Thank you for the follow, Brigitte Barbie. The spiffing Brit used them to get absurd attention on the channel, I think. Oh, really? Alright, looks like we're going for Desert Land. Whoops, I can only click one away there. That one. And let's see. Let's go for pink text. On that one as well. Candy Dessert and Sandy Desert. Candy Dessert doesn't really work. Oh, nice simultaneous bits. Thank you for the 14 bits, Smartje. And thank you for the 100 bits, Fatal Crib. Are you guys liking this candy style? Or is it getting on your nerves? Oh yeah, we have a hype train approaching. Thank you for the 40 bits, fluffy little kittens. We could build some stalls here. Of course we need cotton candy stall, which I do have. And thank you for the 100 bits, Slime. Because cotton candy stall is of course cotton candy. And thank you for the 100 bits as well again, Fatal Grip. Okay, now I want to decorate this one a bit more, you know, purely the coaster. Could do that. These are kind of like trees. They're candy trees. Candy floss. Is that what cotton candy is called in the EU? Well, in Dutch it's just called suikerspin, which is literal translation of sugar spider. Oh, thank you for the 250 bits, Mr. AMD. I appreciate it very much. We're on level 69 on the way to a level 1 hype train. Nice. Cyberspin? No, suikerspin. S-U-I-K-E-R spin. We can do something nice here. Oh, thank you for the 251 bits. Luckily, Discord, Twitch actually tells me how many there are, and I don't have to count them all manually. But thank you very much, Fatal Crib. We can do something. Oh, and there's 2 gifted subs. Thank you very much, Slime. We can do a nice chocolate thing here. And thank you for the Prime sub, Bro Ruffy. You know, I think I did this last stream as well, like in the GigaPark. It kind of looks like a grey, like the aluminium in the wrapper. So we have a nice chocolate bar here. Thank you for the follow, Charzy. Dark edge walls and the roof look nice with candy theming. I think I know what you mean, yeah. Oh, we're missing... No, we do have the fence. But I'll look into the dark age thing, if I can actually select them. The nice thing about the candy theme is that you don't really need to care about colors, because it's all about bright and random colors. But that's pretty much what candy is. When it's candy's nuts, right, being built. Nice meme. Thank you for the 100 bits, Groenroos. Which, by the way, is Dutch for green rose. Which is nice. It's a nice name. Alright, let's build, like that. Little tree inside there. Okay, now that I'm zoomed in here and I'm looking at, you know, the transition from grass to muddy grass to mud, or dirt, I think it looks quite natural. Are those guests wearing hats? Yes, they are. What will be a fitting entrance and exit theme for this coaster? Good question. No. 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 That's not too bad. I like the canvas tent. Yeah, that's a good one. Name the candy floss stall Sugar Rush. Alright. Why don't you get the coaster to interact with a path or do tunnels? I could build a path through here, which I was debating anyway. But, you know, I first built the coaster and then built the mountain. Thank you for the Prime sub, Faso. Appreciate that. Oh, I need to, of course, change this as well. There we go. Canvas tents are already in use in the desert area. Yep, they are, but doesn't mean we can't reuse them. I think I'm gonna have to go over it. There we go. can go down there. Oops. And like that. Perfect. No, you know, build towards there. Nice. We got just the mountain here, with a path around it, and a little bit of space here. The one thing I'm struggling with in this area is that I don't really have a vision. Because there's not, you know, with the castle I kind of had some kind of vision, and the desert area, it's kind of known what you do with that. It was still tricky, but there's not really like a blueprint for what you do with candy. Make an elevator and name it Wonka's Glass Elevator. That's not a bad idea. I never built elevators. So I suppose this is the... well, maybe not the first one, but definitely one of the first custom elevators I've ever built. And then I need to build some, like, thing at the top. And then at the bottom. Because I need to build something at the top, you know. I need to build the path here. Which I'll just build around. But now I also need to build some kind of building on the top. Because this is horrendously ugly at the moment. I mean, this I can just do like that. That's not a problem. Guests should just fall from the top. Yeah, but then mechanics won't be able to repair it. If the top breaks. Look at these support colors though. I never knew that those were that brightly colored. I suppose I don't use that path very often. Okay, we don't need this one to play candy style. Maybe we do, because that one broke down. Do we have staff? We do have staff, not enough though. Well, maybe some of you is gonna argue that it's too many and fire all my staff. Can they repair for the bottom? Not if the top station breaks down. Willy Wonka's Glass Elevator. There we go. That's at least the name done. I don't know, what color shall we do? I really don't know what the good color would be. And we could go for the medieval or the Dark Age theming. Whoops. Let's see. Show tile no, wrong one. Object selection. And we then pick Dark Age theming. Oh, we're actually gonna get all of them. Oh, we actually got all of them. Yeah, these ones are quite nice if we make this bright red. If it's Wonka, it has to be purple. Put glass walls around. We could do glass. That's probably a better idea considering the name. Let me reselect abstract. Object selection. Oh, there we go. The right's back on. And of course we don't get all the walls. Or we do get all the walls. But we are missing the roof though. We don't have the glass roof at the moment. Let's see. This is just walls and fences. Glass roof. There we go, I want those. Could you name one of the guests Arne Ace? Sure. He's a good swimmer, so he can't drown. I don't think it works like that, but... I just hope for you that he's a good swimmer. Ah, turns out he is. He magically appeared on the path again. He's a very good swimmer. The guest riding free transport ride still works in 1. I don't know if that still works in 1. Alright. Now the glass roof is... Hang on, where are they? Oh, they are here. If I do it purple... Also do it more brighter. This is very bright. If I do it like... I can always repaint it later, of course. If I just do this... I need taller walls. Whoops. I'll fix that later. Are you making a one-cast elevator? Yes, I am. And there, and there. Perfect. And then we'll need some, something of this below it. Like that. To get rid of all the supports. There we go, no more... Oops. I'll delete that later. No more supports. Oh, where is it? There it is. Go from the bottom to the top using the shift key. No, I'm actually did control on this one. Now I'm holding control. Then I did shift to go down. Then you hold both control and shift. That's how that works. And then we can also do glass above this. I don't know, is that nice? It's better than all the ugly supports. But are the colors good? Thank you for the follow, Cyber Circuit. Let's see. Entrance. Let's go for some wacky colors. Oh, the white is the same as that white. That's still nice. Looks like a huge lollipop. That's not bad. I would do abstract because of glass. That's a good idea. Abstract. And that's why you guys are here. If I just make this big and purple as well. It looks very top heavy. Hi Marcel, after months of VOD watching, I finally remember to actually watch on a Sunday. Oh, welcome. A bit candy thing at the top of the tower. Do you mean like big or... I could, I don't know, do that. And top it off with... For those, they're all the same color though. If I just keep making these lighter. There we go. Isn't this too much of the same color? I mean, if I make this white, it looks more like an actual lollipop. I think I prefer the white. I think that looks better. Marshmallows. I could put marshmallows on here. Hey, which one's the marshmallow one? I've got mints, but... Oh, that's the marshmallow. That's the marshmallow on a stick. Marshmallows need to be white, though. Are there any non-white marshmallows? Hang on, if we do that, then we need to... And that, and that. I still haven't fixed that path, by the way. Hang on, it's just... No one take... Hang on. Why aren't the guests... Hang on, what? There are... Hang on, what? I'm not explaining anything, I'm just being confused. Okay, so there are a lot of guests waiting down here, right? And... Let's see, they're getting on the lift, presumably. Or... not? Hang on. How does this work? Because there is still a gap here. If guests get to the top, they shouldn't be able to get a... Huh? The guests are just... Why are these connected? What? They're only... Okay. That's... weird. Maybe because the queue line to the top is broken. I mean, there still is a queue line. That shouldn't matter because I've made lifts without any kind of thing at the top before and it worked. Oh, you can actually see them teleport up every now and then. This is... It says no one in queue. But on the other one it says 29 in queue. Which is the bottom one. I suppose this does mean I don't need anything at the top. I could remove all this bit at the top and the lift would work just fine. Maybe rebuild the entrances. Yeah, I kind of do want to have things at the top. I'll just rebuild the exits as well. This might not fix it though, but it might also fix it. I don't know. Let's see. Ooh, we can charge 1160 for it. Guests are rich, by the way. They come into the park with about €1,000, which is a lot. It might be because they're on the same tile. That's a good one. Although, actually it does seem to be working now. No ATM at the top. Oh, that... Yeah, guests can actually get stuck there then. Well, let's see. I mean, guests are incredibly rich, so... It'll take a while before some get stuck. Do they exit here, though? Does seem they do. Oh. Yeah, they do. Oh yeah, it's not... See, this transport ride is not free, so they might get stuck here. You know what, I'm just gonna make it free. And you see, immediately they all go on it. And that's not because they can't pay. They're all very rich. Like, this guy's got €600. But that's the power of free transport rides. Fire all my staff. Alright, there we go. Your guests are clearly Dutch. I wonder though, you know, there's the stereotype of Dutch people being stingy. Are Dutch people actually stingy compared to other countries? Or is that just a stereotype which isn't true? I have no idea. No, they're not stuck at the top. They just... It works now. I know a lot of stingy Dutch people. I might too, but I am Dutch, so... If I'm also stingy, it's normal for me. So I wouldn't notice it. Do you think you could do a video on optimal price for food stalls one day? Yes. Eventually. In Korea we have a phrase called Dutch pay. That's in English as well. You know, when you're going Dutch, you're splitting the bill according to what you ordered. I think that's what going Dutch means. I'm trying to get to your choice. The first person on the walking list. Guest 78. Alright. Creative. In the UK, the stingy stereotype is usually people from Yorkshire or Scotland. I mean, stingy is a word. I did mispronounce it, but stingy is also a word. You know, bees, they sting you, they are stingy creatures. I'm not sure if it's an official word, as much as official words are a thing. But it can work like that. Alright, I suppose we need a flat ride. You know, what about 2 3D cinemas next to each other? And we can have them bright colors and it'll be happy and fun and they'll totally not look like balls. And queue line. No! Don't go like that. I'll just do the fence trick. There we go. How about a big tower in between the 2 cinemas? How about... No. We don't want to get too graphic, do we? Well, I don't want to get too graphic. Maybe you do. Alright, bright colors, because that's what's candy all about, right? What about if we inverse these? That looks nice. The more balls, the better. There is that one episode of, what's it called? Disney's Recess. Where, by mistake, all the playground balls have been taken, which was supposed to happen, but they hadn't been replaced. And they'll all be, you know, follow the clues and you'll be drowning in balls in no time and all that kind of innuendos. It's a brilliant episode. The entire show was brilliant. Slime has joined the queue line for Willy Wonka's glass elevator. Nice. It's a shame there are no candy themed benches in this game. Aww. The music is breaking down again. No! You know what's interesting? I'm noticing a significantly lower viewership than usually on, well, in the last like 4 streams. I wonder if there's a reason for that. Is there anything big on television, or is it just random, or is it just that I'm not particularly interesting today? Oh, Formula 1 is on. But I mean, Dutch people is only like 15% of my audience. So assuming that only like half don't watch because of that, there will be like 7% fewer viewers, not like 30% or however many we have fewer. Is there something maybe going on in America? NFL games? Okay, that makes sense. Although, it's actually this kind of viewership that I have at the moment, which 161 it tells me, is normal. Because the last few streams it's been much higher than normal. But of course, if it goes down again, you do start looking for reasons. How is there such a train of guests here? Did they all come from the same ride at the same time or something? Did they all walk this way? Can I rehire staff again? Yes, I can. I kind of want the candy to be fixed. And let's get mechanics. And let's get entertainers. There we go. How much money do we make a month? Only about 11k. Yeah, we don't have that many guests. And some rides are starting to get quite old. I mean, we can only charge 8 for this now, which is not much. It's more than 4 years old. Eventually it'll reach monument status. And this one is barely popular at all. Oh, it's still getting 1800 guests per hour. It doesn't have a high throughput, making it seem not popular. Herder and Turner. Rainbow slides in the candy dessert. It's not a bad idea. A lot of your ideas are good. I just can't do them all because, you know, limited space, limited time. By the time I've done one idea, I've got like 6 more. And that's of course nice. Because it means that I'm getting a lot of ideas from you guys and support and whatnot. But it's also not nice because it means I have to not do a lot of things that you say. That you would like me to do. That I could do. If it wasn't just for the fact that I got way more ideas than I can ever execute. It's the same thing for making videos. There have been a few videos that people are asking for a while. But sometimes I'm having a bit of trouble with getting, you know, doing the writing. But it's also just that by the time I make one of those videos, I've got like 4 more suggestions that are popular. And Thursday's video, which I've recorded and edited a little bit already, is gonna be one of those videos that has been heavily requested. But there have been more heavily requested videos than just Thursday's video. Okay, I need to alter this a little bit, because that's not working. Remove that. Also that one. There we go, and then I can go down there. If you could assign another music to the carousel, would it also speed up when it breaks down? Yes. And I've actually used that to make my merry-go-round breaks down, but it doesn't stop going faster video. Which I made like, I don't know, 3 months ago. You can do it with any kind of music. And I'll show you. If I go here and do that, and then if we do, let's see. We need ride type changes. Monorail cycles, and we go candy style. Where's candy? There's candy. And now we go back to merry-go-round. Where is it? There it is. There we go. We don't need to cheat anymore. And now it's gonna have a little... Well, let's first just get it on the road. Then it's gonna have a little control failure. There it goes. Oh yeah. It's funny because when it speeds up, it also... The volume gets higher. And you can hear the bass very well. I love this. It takes like almost a minute to fully accelerate. I love that bass. I think it's about done. Accelerating. Alright, let's try another one. Let's turn the cheat back on. And let's see, let's fix it. I love those cheats, they're really amazing. And let's do someone else rock style too, so let's do that. Now we go back to merry-go-round. Interesting, it takes a while for it to actually break down after I do it. Awesome. Slime is in 3D Cinema 1. Assume that's that one. Yes. Let's just do that. Ah, I can't type. There we go. This is great. Which theme shall we do next? Oh, actually. Yeah, it's still sped up. We don't need to have the speed up animation. This is Egyptian. And this is my custom music 1. Which might hurt your ears a little bit. Okay, you know what? I think I got a nice one. I kind of do want it to... let's do Dodgem's beat style. I think that's a nice one. And let's have the speed up again, because that is kind of a nice addition to have. Oh, thank you for the 101 bits, Groenroos. I like this. 200 beats per minute. Hell yeah. Dodge this. Nice reference. Slime has left ball. Slime has joined the queue for left ball. Slime really likes the left ball. Oh, this is sounding really cool. Where we need a drop. I'm anticipating like a big drop in the music. This is like party music. I like this. But I think enough fooling around with this. Oh, let's do one more. Mechanical. Fix. Mechanical. There it is. Nope, that's modern. That's mechanical. Let's go back to merry-go-round. And... Badam! Well, now this is some hardcore music. These are all in vanilla. Tadaru. Oh yeah. This is the good stuff. I imagine like a factory going completely into overdrive. Yeah, pretty much. It does fit. I mean, with all this music, with the music speeding up, I can totally imagine why kids all across the world thought that this would eventually explode. With all the, with you know, with the bumping up and down, the shaking. Slime is in left ball. And then at some point, kaboom, which I've already done. I've already made 2 videos where merry-go-rounds explode. Both obviously faked. That was the last one. Let's get back to actually building the park. Long old queue for the left ball. Well, the queue's not that long, it's just that the right takes a while. We have left ball and right ball. I know merry-go-rounds crash the second you make them operate in powered launched mode. Well, yeah, but that doesn't surprise me. Why is only one of these slides opened? There you go, much better. We're only halfway to Pride slides. Pride Red. Tentrance, of course. And yellow. We've done this before. We all know how this works. Tent. Now we just need 3 more balls and we can have a whole Newton's cradle. Or we need 4 more balls and we can play a game of jeu de boule. Or pétanque. Hang on. Please add an observation tower in between the balls. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's keep it at the level where it's clear what we mean, but not that clear. And the last one. Entrance, there we go. There we got our rainbow slides. Is there any kind of game, like a sport, where 2 balls are in use? I mean, football got 1 ball. Like volleyball and all this kind of sports all got 1 ball. Is there any kind of game where exactly 2 balls are in use? Pool. Aren't there 3 balls there? Dodgeball. I suppose dodgeball depends, right? Quidditch. No, Quidditch has 4 balls. You have a quaffle, you have 2... Whatever those things are. Bludgers, I think. And you have a snitch. One of them has wings. Bowling. Each person has 1. That makes sense. Bowling is a good one. By the way, why does the snitch need wings to fly while all the other balls do not? Alright, I was thinking of another coaster, like here. Pinball. Pinball doesn't need to have 2 balls, though. Because J.K. Rowling isn't that good of an author. I don't think that has anything to do with her being an bad or good author. That's more of an in-universe thing. Alright, yeah, the quaffle doesn't actually fly. That's a good point. LIM. LIM is not a bad idea. Let's do an LIM. It's fun. I think J.K. Rowling is an amazing author. Now, are there plot holes and inconsistencies, especially with dates and groups of people, numbers of students and stuff? Of course, plenty. She isn't great with that. But the books are very well written. They're very fun to read for even very young kids. And, well, I mean, they've become an absolute phenomenon. If J.K. Rowling was a bad writer, then it would have never been a phenomenon like that. Decent author, but disgusting person. Now, there's a topic that I shouldn't really get into because it's a dangerous topic. But I disagree. Let's not praise J.K. Rowling. Okay, look, J.K. Rowling is not some person who has committed like horrible murders. Even if she is a terrible person, we can still acknowledge that the Harry Potter books are great. And I know there's a whole drama with the trans stuff on Twitter, what she said, and I don't want to get into, I don't know too much about it. What I do want to say is that I am annoyed at the people who say like J.K. Rowling is virtue signaling with Dumbledore being gay and stuff. She said that Dumbledore was gay after someone asked about Dumbledore's relationships back in 2007 in an interview. So that doesn't really work. You know, that wasn't the virtue signaling. People act like she said that in 2017 or something. Just to score some woke points, which she didn't. But yeah, that's kind of my opinion on J.K. Rowling. I think she's an amazing writer. She's getting flack for a lot of things she doesn't deserve, but there are other things she probably does deserve to get flack for, but I don't know a lot about. We can. Oh, what we actually can do, which is interesting. These are block... Hang on, no, these should be block breaks. There we go. Like that. So what we now have is we have our powered launched mode. Oh, we actually need one more block section, otherwise it's not going to work. If I just change this a little bit. Do you find it easier to build interesting coasters on flat terrain or terrain like this? Well, I'm pretty much treating this like it's flat, so... I'm definitely better on flat terrain. Alright, now we have 2 trains on a launched coaster. And that is only possible with the LAM coaster. Only it's not currently going because the trains are too long. I'll just make... If I just make that a block break and then remove that one. There we go, now it works. I like that coaster. I bet quite a few of you didn't know that you could do this actually. Have multiple... Because usually you can only have 1 train on a launched coaster. But the twister coaster can have 2 if you use block brakes. Which I actually only discovered a few years ago. There's a lot of stuff in the game, a lot of like what may even seem like quite basic knowledge. I mean, the use of control, for example, that I only discovered a few years ago, like 2016, 2017, when I actually got back into the game and started playing it like a lot. With a lot, I mean a lot. I used to non-stop do stuff, and I mean like many hours a day. I used to play it so much. Of course, I completed all the scenarios in RCT2, which took time, obviously. But I also did so many experiments. I put so many hours in just trying to build the highest excitement rating. And back in those days, my record was like... I started off with like 12 or so. And then I slowly worked my way up to like 14, 15. Then I discovered the excitement rating, the airtime thing. Hey, lag, what's up? How you doing? Ooh, these are some nice bright colors. Where's the candy canyon? I don't think we have space for a proper candy canyon. Because I don't want to make the candy thing too big. We do need some more bright colors though. Actually, I want... we need a 4x4 for a full chest thing, right? I want that somewhere. Whoops. I could put that here. Is this a 4x4? That is a 4x4. There we go. And if I put a little fence around that... I'll finish up that coaster later. Because I got this idea now. Alright, screw all that grass. There we go. Much better grass. Oops. And then we'll just place the pieces on it. See if I know this still by heart. Hang on. Queen chooses color. So the queen's on there. And this is the king. The bishop. And then horse. And then tower. I know they're not called that in English. They're knight and the rook. But I like to call them horse and tower because that's the literal translation of what they're called in Dutch. And some pawns. I do know how to play chess. I'm not any good at it. You know, I'll easily beat someone who doesn't know how to play chess, of course, because I do know it. But if there's anyone who's practiced like for more than an hour, they'll probably beat me. I think these are the wrong way around. Yeah, they should be like that. Rook can also be called castle. Well, I just call it tower. There we have our chess match. Jeroen, you don't get mobbed by asking for it. In fact, you ask for a lot of things. You've also asked for subs before. En you're Dutch, so I'll just say, kinderen die vragen worden overgeslagen. Translation that children who ask will be skipped. Let's see. Someone said make it raketijsje color. Which is nice cream that's... what are the colors? I think they're like these? They're like yellow, green, red, right? Hang on. Let me... With yellow, orange, red. Hang on. I haven't had one in a very long time. Oh, it's yellow, orange, red. There we go. And then we can do this. Oh, green. Green ain't bad. And then we can call it raketijsje. Which is fun. Because, you know, you've heard me pronounce this. But if you give this word, especially, you know, the ijsje bit, to any kind of English speaker, they won't know how to pronounce it. They'll probably become something like itchy or something like that. Which is hilarious. Cody actually played Roller Coaster Tycoon in Dutch for a bit on stream. And his wachtrij became like like Wagdridge. Was hilarious. One of the... Hang on, I can do this for a bit as well. It'll be fun. Where's the language? There we go. Dutch. Because there's one wonderfully named roller coaster. Oh, it's Nederlands, not Dutch. And we have it available. Oh, you can't read that, huh? There we go. That's a long word. How many letters does it have? 7 plus 7 is 14. Plus 5 is 19. Plus 3 is 21. Plus 8 is 29. It's not a good Scrabble word, because Scrabble only supports words up to 15 letters. This is 29, it's almost double. I wonder if any of you know how to pronounce this. Well, any of you who aren't Dutch. It's very simple, actually, because it's just a lot of words, connect to each other. It's the same in Dutch, except it's the same in English, except English just puts spaces in between. Because it's reverse freefall coaster in English. Dit is achterwaartse vrije valachtbaan. En achterwaartse is just reverse. Vrije val is freefall. En achtbaan is coaster or roller coaster. It's really simple. We just ignore the spaces in that kind of stuff. So, yeah. We just call it the same. Let's see. Yeah, the same. Lucht aangedreven. Lucht is air. Aangedreven is powered. So just air powered. En een verticale achtbaan is vertical coaster. Waterachtbaan is water, space, coaster in English. Vliegachtbaan is flying coaster. This is just a steeplechase. Okay, that didn't get changed. Bobsleigh achtbaan. Here we use a dash, because otherwise the E and the A are kind of make a weird combination. Just to make it clearer. Oh, this is funny. In English, this one is called a mine train. But in Dutch, translated, it's a powered mine train. Aangedreven is powered. Do you think Chris Sawyer translated all this himself? No, because this translation is provided by OpenRCT2. Because the original Dutch translation absolutely sucks. Hardline Twister achtbaan, I mean, that's pretty clear. Do you have any other interesting long names? De haarspeld achtbaan. I mean, this is hairpin coaster. Hypercoaster isn't even translated. It isn't, no. De houten achteruit achtbaan. Just a wooden reverse coaster. It's just called a reverser coaster in English, actually. But houten is wooden. Wilde muis achtbaan is just one word. De zijfrictie achtbaan. God love that. This is just called an enterprise, but that's just the Dutch word for it. What the hell? Looping schip? What? Is it... I mean, what else would we call this? I mean, I would just call it like an omgekeerd schommelschip. Okay, this is a schommelschip. This is a pirate ship or swinging ship. And I would call this like een omgekeerd schommelschip. Just like this is een omgekeerde schommelachtbaan. It's inverted swinging coaster. What the hell is looping schip? I suppose it's easier for English people to know what it is. Because you know what a looping is, and schip and ship are close enough. There's only one extra letter. Schommelschip over the kop. Yeah, that. I would call it, but that's more like children's. That's what you learn as children, and you just use that when you're an adult still, because you never learned a better term. Een dinosaurus-ei twist. Lol. This is just a rotor drop, just a topspin. Although in English, topspin is 2 words, in Dutch it's apparently 1. These are all, of course, one word. Gebakken kipkraam. Okay, that should not be one word. You know, you can go too far. Warme chocolademelkkraam. That should not be one word. In Dutch, warme chocolademelk is not one word. It's warme, it's hot, space, chocolademelk or chocolate milk. This is ridiculous. Bezoekers. Not berserkers. But yeah, guests is bezoekers. And, you know, the S in both times means plural. Flower power t-shirt kraam. Let's see. There are probably a lot of other things. Yeah, you have, of course, this. Hang on. If I... Oh yeah, this is interesting. It has, you know, gaat 40 kilometers per hour. In the original translation, it would say gaan naar 40 kilometers per hour. Which, you know, gaat 40 kilometers per hour is basically like going 40 kilometers per hour. And gaat naar is basically like going to 40 kilometers per hour. That was basically the original translation. Which is... doesn't make any sense. That's not how English or Dutch works. Like, going to 40 kilometers per hour. That's not... how you say that. How you say speed. Oh yeah, style is style. Otherwise, these are, well, pretty, you know, direct translation. Nothing too special. Why is there still a /h and not /u? A good one. I don't know. Yeah, if you go to station, then you got, you know, Cody would pronounce it 36 bezokers in the Wagdridge. It's because IJ is not... like, it's one single vowel in Dutch called I, which actually doesn't even exist in English. There are so many things that exist in Dutch that don't exist in English. Because there's the I, there's the O, there's the U. All those three vowels just do not exist in English. Also the U, also I believe doesn't exist in English. I can write them out for you. If I got some nice flat land. This is an U, which is a sound that you don't have. And this is an A, which is also our word for egg. But this is also A. These two are the exact same. We call them korte en lange ei, or short and long ei. For some reason. Oh, and then this, which we do of course all know, the Y, is called the Griekse ei, or Y, which is actually Dutch and French for Greek Y. For some reason we call it that. I don't know why. But it's, you know, it's the Y from Greece. And let's see, there's also the U, which I talked about, which is that. It's a U and an I. And then this letter on its own is pronounced U, which is also a sound that I don't think exists in English. No, is not U. It's quite different. Next video, I made a part that explains how to speak Dutch. I'm kind of doing that, yeah. But no, the problem is, I can't use English to explain how to pronounce this. I can't say, you know, the EU is pronounced like this sound in this English word. Because it doesn't exist in English. And that makes it difficult. Just like the sound from the or thing, which is two different TH sounds. Like, you can't explain that with Dutch words because it doesn't exist in Dutch. And also, by the way, I hate the THS sounds. And for my video on, not tomorrow, but on Thursday, I had the word clothes twice. And I needed like 10 takes to get an acceptable take from me saying that word. It took me so... I don't know if anything's ever taken me that many takes. I absolutely hate that sound. Yeah, in Spanish, letter Y is the griga, which is probably pronounced horribly wrong. Yeah, it's Greek I. Oh, I. Oh, in Dutch it's Greek Y, which is interesting. Does Dutch have a hard J sound? You mean like J? I don't think so. I don't think we do. We do have a soft one like je, which in like energie, which you actually write with a G. Oh yeah, Brabanders, they do have a soft G. The soft G. Like Guus Meeuwis. Instead of the proper Guus Meeuwis. Alright, let's get rid of that. Hard L. Hang on, what's a hard L? Since when are there different... What's a soft L? If there's a hard L, there must be a soft L. Hang on, what? I've never heard of that. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Yeah, that includes all letters. I know of that one. Alright, let's make this bit Wonderland themed. And you know what? Let's... I need to build a fence around this, otherwise it looks terrible. Thank you for the follow. Sorry, for the prime sub, Berry Sauce. Oh, and thank you for the follow. I missed 2 follows. Nomaron and SGH. If you're both still here, thank you for the follow. Oh, it's a carnival song. I mean, I know there's like the Polish thing, where if you have an L with a dash through it, I think it's pronounced more like a W? Like, for example, the town Lodz isn't pronounced Lodz then. It's more, would be more pronounced like Wodz. But don't quote me on that. I'm not Polish. Obviously. The sounds you Dutch can make are just fascinating. They are, aren't they? I like the word grachtengordel. Because there's 3 of our famous hard G's. Oh, this one actually goes on hills. Nice. I hate rolling R's. You mean like rrr? Rrr. I think I pronounce my R's like somewhat with a rolling R. Well, not in English, of course, but when I speak Dutch. I think I'm somewhere in between, like a proper rolling R and the English R. There's the new follow sound for rolling his R's. Hey ladies. Not too many ladies in this chat though, according to my demographics. Mostly guys. Are you aware of any issues with the refurbish button on OpenRST2 servers with the individual economy plugin? No. It sounds quite specific, to be honest. Maybe other people have experience with it, but I do not. Groningen. It's a very Dutch word. Alright, here we have our little Wonderland themed thingy. Just, I don't know, have some highs. And some pumpkin highs. Oh, we're still in Dutch. You know what, I'll keep it Dutch. The names don't really matter, because I know what everything is anyway. This is a paddenstoel. Or, literally translated, toadstool. Which is actually how it can be called in Dutch or in English as well. I'll put in a few candy trees as well. Or in Dutch, snoepboom. This is incredibly saturating on the eyes. I must be honest, I'm kind of looking forward to the next stream of this, because now we can build something that's a bit more, well, easier for me to visualize. Something medieval or whatever. Don't know what's going to be yet, of course, but yeah, we'll see. This area is for peripheral vision. Now that's a comment or joke that I don't really understand. Oh, Brit, you mean not looking at it. Right. I'm dumb. Oh, it's broken down. Hang on, we have some... Where's my little fence? There's my fence. Can we use this fence? I suppose we could use it here. Is this on flat ground? No, it's not. Well, this doesn't look too bad. And if we just, you know, do like that. Oh, thank you for the 3 months, Hammy2211. You are from the future, apparently. And you were born about 200 years from now. Well, 190, let's keep it in that. And welcome to the world of the past. Is Corona gone yet? Well, in 200 years we probably had another plague. Because the last plague, the Spanish flu I think it was, right? Yeah, in 1918. Was about 100 years ago, so in 200 years we'll probably have had another one. You know what, let's save it. We haven't done that in a while. Did all the channel rewards get awarded? I think so. People will tell me when I miss them, huh? Don't worry about that. Which is good, of course. Because if I do miss it, you should absolutely tell me. And be vocal about it. Oh, right, you can actually... There's an actual awarded thing. Good one. I never do that. I didn't even... I forgot that was a thing. I really need 2 screens, and I can do all that much more easily. So there's a few things... You know, now that the whole YouTube money situation has been sorted out, which was sorted out a few months ago. There's a few things that I now really want to buy, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. I want to buy a proper microphone, because currently I'm using my headset, which is fine. The sound quality for my voice is fine. But a proper microphone would be better. And I also want 2 new monitors, because the current one I have was the cheapest one I could get at the time. And I can't adjust it. It's on a book. It's on a big mathematics book, because otherwise it was too low. And it's also partly on a cleaning rack, so that it's tilted a little bit backwards. I also couldn't adjust that. It's a bit small as well. I think like 22 inch. Maybe a bit larger. I don't know. So I want just 2 big new ones. Thank you for the follow. Diagona Scar. Probably mispronounced that. Yeah, because not only is 2 monitors nice with streaming, because now I'm using my laptop for the chat, which works, but it's not ideal. But it probably also helps with editing. And just, in general, it's nice. Okay, I think I need to put some stuff in between here. Also, this year, for the first time in a few years, I've actually asked something for my birthday, which wasn't my idea, but I do like it a lot. And I've asked a big world map. Because I'm very much into geography. And I've asked a big world map that's 2 meters wide and 1 meter 20 tall, which is about 6 by 4 feet. What projection? One of the good ones. I've forgotten which, but it's like either Winkle Triple or Robinson or, one of those. It has a lot of info on it. Of course, all the countries, but also all the capitals, lots of other big cities. All the names of like the seas and the rivers and mountains and all that kind of stuff. And it's a tad on the expensive side, but they're all pooling their money together. I don't know if I like what I did here. It feels a bit artificial, all this stuff. But I don't know, it's better than nothing, I suppose. It's better than having just grass. Time to up the difficulty for geography questions. Maybe. I probably won't be looking too much at the map. It's probably more just for a conversation starter if people are there. If people are here, then, you start looking at the map. Of course, I'll look at it myself as well. Fence flowers. I could do flowers. Yeah, the desert town is happening. The candy area should look artificial. Yeah, but there's artificial and there's artificial. You could also, I don't know, experiment with... Nope, 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 nope. That's not good. I mean, if I do flowers like that, it's basically using them as trees. That doesn't look too bad. It's unique, definitely. They can't go on hills, though. Is the game still supposed to be set to Dutch? Not really, but also yes. Now, what do you make of that answer? These are bloemen. Maybe those pink trees. Oh, that's not a bad idea. This is gonna be very busy here. Different sandy types as ground. Oh, we do have those, yeah. Let's see. I mean, yeah. Do you mean this sand, or do you mean like the more smoother one, like the gravel or the, well, whatever that is? Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Hey, much better. Only need to replace a few trees. And that's why we autosave every minute. No, bitch means the same in Dutch, Hammy. It's that quote from the song. I hate that song. Did I already resave it? No, I didn't. Let's do it GigaPark version 3. Alright, let's try to not screw it up this time. If I do this... That doesn't look too bad, actually. I mean... Of course, we need that back. What do you guys think? Grass or... whatever this is, gravel, I suppose. We could just go for a little bit of gravel here. And like have it... Okay, a lot of you are saying gravel. What do you make the path grass and the rest gravel? I do like the gravel. I don't know how to make the path grass, because the path is already something else. Ask a geography question. Alright. Go ahead. What's special about the town of Moordgat? I don't know, I've never heard of it. Does it have a big hole in the middle? Because it's called gat, which is Dutch for hole. Oh, it's beer? Yeah, I don't really do beer. I rarely ever drink beer. When's the last time I've drank beer? I think about a year ago. Something like that. Yeah, no, I think it was like in May. I was with some friends. Was it April? Well, somewhere around there. So yeah, I don't drink beer very often at all. Usually when I have alcohol, which is usually when I visit my parents, I'll have a glass of wine. Alcohol, the cause and solutions of all life's problem. My life is a lot better now that I don't really drink. Not that I drink was really causing me any problems, but... Like, I wasn't an alcoholic or anything, but I did get drunk, like, fairly often, like, every 2 or 3 weeks. Which, yes, I consider quite often. And that just wasn't improving my life. What did you used to drink? Quite a lot of beer, quite a lot of heavy stuff, like Jägermeister, Gold Strike. I used to, with one particular friend, we used to just hang out and, you know, play Mario games, and whenever we'd lose, we'd drink, and then we'd lose more often, and we'd drink again, and all that kind of stuff. Redo the dithering on the hill. Yeah, a little bit, I suppose. This kind of works. It just, you know, getting drunk, just drinking just wasn't improving my life. And it was mostly at some point, well, I was 19 still, so it's quite a while ago. I was 19. Yeah, it's about pretty much exactly 5 years ago. I got my first true hangover. Meaning I was sick for pretty much the entire next day. I just laid on my bed doing nothing. Because I was afraid I would throw up if I would move. And I was like, alright, that's it. I don't like this. No more alcohol for me. Of course, it's not entirely true. I drink every now and then now. But I quit drinking for about half a year straight. And then I was like, you know, if I have a nice glass of wine, that's absolutely fine. Alright, I like this area. I'll build a flat right here and do some more of that stuff. I'll still get a little bit of a buzz every now and then if I drink like 3 glasses of wine or something. Which is neat. What shall we build? How about a mini? Now, mini helicopter should go on the other side. It's not a flat, right? How about that? Close up the streak of grass on the bottom of the river. Now, I like that. I did that on purpose. Red or white wine? I much prefer white. Doesn't really fit though. Let's do an motion simulator. Maybe a haunted house ride. Not spooky themed. Isn't it kind of spooky themed by default though? It does fit. Haunted by the Tooth Fairy. Nice. Oh, the ghost train. Yeah, but I kind of wanted the flat ride here. Oh, it doesn't need to be flat though. Because I thought of mini helicopters. I think a mini helicopters is nice here. Let's do mini helicopters. A lot of rides do fit. I wonder, has COVID caused more people to start drinking? Or are less people drinking now with COVID? Because, you know, people are more at home, so they're drinking more, but maybe they also, I don't know, have some frustrations at work that, you know, people sometimes drink at work with, you know, the Friday afternoon drinks. Yeah, that's also a thing. You say way more dummy, Twitch Space RC, like it's obvious. But it's not. Because you don't have the social drinking as much anymore. I'm also very much a social drinker. I think I can count the number of like alcoholic units, which would be like either a glass of wine or a can of beer or a bottle of beer, something like that. Or one shot. The ones that I've drank while on my own, I can probably count on one hand. In my life. I just don't drink alone. I've drank like a few beers alone over the years when I was like 19, but yeah, like I can count them on one hand. My alcohol consumption went to 0, but my weed consumption went to 100. I've never had weed. Or a cigarette. Or anything like that. The only drug I've ever had is alcohol. You say it's easier to stop alone, Iantoi Drag God. Less peer pressure. I don't think so. If I, in my current environment, would have to stop drinking, I think it will be easier if it was social drinking. Because I trust my friends, if I tell them I want to stop drinking, that they would actually hold me to it. And if I'm alone, there's no one to stop me. So I think for me, because I trust my friends would help me in it, it would be easier to stop drinking if it was a social thing. The transition toward grassy would work great for the mushrooms of the Wonderland theme. Have the other side of the mountain be way more of that stuff. Well, that's not a bad idea, because mushrooms do look good on grass. But first I'm gonna, continue this stuff like... Hang on, there were no mushrooms here. Like I did it with a little bit of yellow flower bats and all that kind of good stuff. Why did the mushroom always get invited to the party? Because he was a fun guy. Nice. It's easier for me to stop when I'm out at a bar because my social battery runs out and I can no longer deal with people. And that, my friends, is an introvert. Welcome to the club. Maybe that's also why I think it would be easier for me. Because I'm also fairly introverted. And introverted doesn't mean that you don't like to be in the public eye. Because I like what I do. But it just means you need some alone time to recharge. And you know what's actually funny? There's a great example of it. Because I was on holiday with a friend this summer. And at some point we were having dinner at a restaurant. And there was, some guy eating dinner on his own. We didn't know him or anything. And my friend struck up a conversation with him. And, it was a fun conversation. It lasted like 2 hours or something. Like the entire time we were there for dinner. But then... I do have a message that I'm online on Discord, Jarsnel. Then, when we were cycling back to the hotel, he asked me if I liked, or, if I was okay with him striking up that conversation, because it did take up like the entire 2 hours. So maybe if I expected to just, talk with him instead of the other guy as well. But the funny thing is, I was okay with it, because it was interesting. But it did take energy from me. While he said, well, I gained energy from it. And there you have the difference between an introvert and an extrovert. Oh, you know what's interesting? These spokes kind of look red if you zoom out a bit. Where in the content showcase with a big tag called Twitch Notification Squad. Which you can get if you go to the Rules and Info channel. And you'll get tagged. Let's make these yellow. To me it also depends on what kind of people I'm around, how draining it can be. Overly extroverted people drain me way faster. Yeah, that does depend. If I'm with that same friend, if we just hang out for an evening, I'll be absolutely fine. I still want my time alone, but not that fast, because I know him very well. Or, if I'm with my brother, then anything is fine, because we know each other just so well. But if it's with my family, which I don't see very often, it's always very busy, and you speak to people you don't see very often. You have to take, you have to take an interest in their lives, even though you don't really care, and the other way around as well, of course. That takes way more energy. Alright, here we're gonna do a lot of shrooms. Get rid of some trees. We could do, like, the yellow trees here, though. So I need more of those. I'll first finish, like, my mushroom forest, and then I'll do some other rides. Just to go back through it, maybe. Like, Slime suggested a water ride. Maybe we'll do that. I'm nothing like the rest of my family, so I find interaction with them kind of draining, to be honest. I'm not too dissimilar from that. My family consists of absolutely lovely people. And if they needed my help, I'd be there for them. And if I needed their help, they'd be there for me. Absolutely, 100%. But I did recently realize that, you know, at family gatherings, they're fun. But it is quite draining for me. And yeah, we do have not that much in common. And the older I get, the less we seem to have in common. But that's the nice thing about family. Because, you know, I sometimes see posts on Reddit, you know, family doesn't mean anything, friends mean more. To me, family means that even if you don't necessarily see each other a lot, or, you know, you don't have anything in common, or you don't, you know, speaking to each other, like having conversation isn't necessarily easy, but if you need each other, you'll be there for each other. You know, as long as your family are nice, of course. This conversation has really gone a lot of places in the last 30 minutes, and I like that. I like those kind of streams where we just, you know, talk about those kind of topics. It's interesting, I think. It's good to talk about that. Did you know that some Polish people call Warsaw by the nickname the default city? Is it because it's big and people kind of default to Warsaw when they think about Poland? I mean, I know I do. I know quite a few other Polish cities, but, you know, you default to... you do default to the capital. That's kind of how that works. Alright, I think that this is roughly going to be the edge of Candyland. I think I do need a fence, though. To properly say, you know, this is the edge. But I think I should build that fence at the very end. What ride shall we build? Someone said a merry-go-round. Kind of looks like a... If you make it red and white, it looks nice. And I agree, so let's do that. A nice long flume or river rabbit. I like a long flume idea. Like making chocolate logs. Let's have the station here. And then a nice S-band. Oh, in Dutch, it's not photo section, it's action photo section. Which sounds so much cooler. Make the long flume over the Candy Mountain. Oh, we can do that. It'll be a nice long log flume. A long flume. De ondersteuningen are too high. Alright, let's go down. Oh, that doesn't work. Alright, we'll stay on this level. That's a tall drop. And that's a long flume. What's your opinion on early completion of scenarios? If you just want to have fun and beat, you know, just build some parks and play some scenarios, do whatever you want. Oh, thank you for the follow. America's T and Maya Larin. Oh, and drown a guest. 6666 or closest to. I mean, if you want... We're not even halfway. If you accidentally typed 162 many, then that would be 664. I was talking about something, but I forgot. Oh yeah, cheating or not. Okay, sure, so let's do 664 then. But if you, for example, want to complete Amity Airfield, and say I have completed Amity Airfield, then you should not use early completion. Then you should fully, because, you know, you can have problems down the line with rides crashing or stuff like that. So if you do that, then I think that you should not use it, because then it is kind of cheating. Because then you can kind of build a park that can support like 3,000 guests for a very short while, but then sort of implodes. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it well, but in my head I have kind of a thing where you're building towards 3,000 guests, or whatever the goal is. And then something happens once you reach that and that like messes up your entire park. You would still pass it with early completion, but you wouldn't without. You're explaining your point fine. Oh, that's good, because I had a feeling I wasn't. Oh, I need to go up here. Whoops. Henk is kapot gegaan. I love these just standard names. And the Dutch makes it even better. But you know what, I'll change it back to English. UK. UK English is better than US English. Fight me. The log flume needs a long queue line. It doesn't really. We can make it a long queue line, but it doesn't need one. You spell honor like a Brit. I actually mostly don't use the OU. Most words I only use the O. Except favorite. There I do always use OU. Can you make them race in the water? I can, but I'm not going to. That's more for like a fun park. You know, like a cursed park or whatever. Ooh, this is nice and bright. I like that. We need some cotton candy floss stalls. You know, what I do need is just stalls. I already have one cotton candy stall. Or candy floss apparently. In this area, which is here. But I do just need just generic stalls. So I'm just gonna build some here. Quit stalling. Generic drinks. Oh, thank you for the 12 bits. Picaramol. One of those. And, of course, ice cream. Do we have any more? Oh, cookie shop, of course. Donut shop. It's all very dessert-like. Cake shop. No, not a hot dog. More ice cream. Whoops. Popcorn. Yeah, popcorn counts. Pretzel. Yeah, that's good enough. That's deserty good enough. Toffee apple market stall. Definitely. Do we have any more? Sandwich? No. I think that's all. Yeah, all the food stalls which sell that kind of stuff, which sell like candy-like stuff. Hot chocolate. I suppose hot chocolate could go instead of drinks. Where's the hot chocolate? There's the hot chocolate. There we are. Okay, now I want to finish off this area. I'm gonna build a fence around it. Pink support for the log flume. I can try. Maybe very bright. Okay, that pink is a bit too pink. This pink is better pink. I like that. The log flume went a little too fast. Yeah, I should have a little bit of a minimum wait time, shouldn't I? Let's make it 5 seconds. Nope, we're not gonna do salmon pink. Okay, what fence shall I put around it? I could put these card walls. I could also go for the lower fence, which is this one, the jelly bean wall. Which will be better as as a wall around the area. The butcher zone. The flesh area. Where we just butcher humans and lay out their flesh. Alright, jelly beans it is. Let's go for... how about classic red and yellow? And then this area will be considered done. Well, maybe not done. Maybe we'll touch up some of the edges, but it's roughly done. Jelly beans stacked too high. I don't think that works all that well, to be honest. Yes, you can do them actually at a 45-degree angle. You can also, if you use the tile inspector... just do that, or that, or just, you know, normal. Which is actually useful if you want to do them, you know, if you want to have them sloped on not land, like in the air. Hey, thank you for the 3 months. Ian Do Drago. Your name is impossible to pronounce. But thank you. Were any of you in the RCT forums in the 2000s? I certainly wasn't. The first time I was ever active in any kind of RCT forums... Oh, hey Slime, you're in Toilets 1. Was in 2013 when I posted my electric field somewhere online under the username Bored. Yeah, no, I was very creative. Felt kind of edgy to call myself that. And someone said after I posted that park that I lived up to my name. Because apparently I would have to be bored to want to build that. Instead of just enjoying it. No, you can only build that when you're bored. Which is not true, of course. Because I did enjoy it. But I know that new element has existed for like since 2001 or so. Like before RCT2 even existed. Thank you for the follow. Surtur01. How long is that fence? Not as long as Australia's dingo fence, but quite long. I see a long fence, I click follow. Can I get extra followers just by building long fences? Didn't know that was a thing. Lanto, or is that Ian2? Is that an I or an L? A capital I or a normal L? And an E drag Gog. Yeah, I just call you Lanto or Ian2. What is it? Which is it? Alright. The bit is fenced off. And this is Candyland. The fencing enthusiast community is not that huge. That's unfortunate. Oh, it's a capital I. Now it's Yento. Ah. What language is that? Looks very fancy. Tellywhacker, what's up? Thank you for the follow. It's Welsh. Of course it is. If anything's impossible to pronounce, it's Welsh. Oh, goch, that's like the same. It's like from the Glanfair something goch. From that town, it's the same. Cave, what do you mean cave? You can't build caves actually in this game. You can't have land that overhangs other land. You can, I mean, you have a little bit of the tunnel. You can when you build rides on the ground. Oh, goch is Welsh for red. That's interesting. So there are a lot of goch lollies here then. And this coaster is partly goch. Hang on, didn't I build a merry-go-round somewhere? Oh, I did. I forgot to make it red and white. There we go. My name means Yento the Red Dragon. Oh, that's cool. And this, what's white in Welsh? Because then I can describe the colors of this thing. Gwyn. Hey, that's also in that town's name. Like Gwynpwlgil or something. Gwyn. So this is Gwyngoch. This is a Gwyngoch merry-go-round. That's cool. How many other colors are in the town? Is it just only colors? Is it just the rainbow? But because we don't know what it means, it just sounds cool to us. Also, I know that the W is a vowel, so it's probably not Gwyn. Probably like G or something like that. I don't know. Merry-go-round Gwynagog. That sounds amazing. I love that. Alright, I like this. Oh, no, this needs a name. Let's call it Chocolate Log Flume. That's not very inspiring. Maybe some of you just have a better name. Oh my god. Diologin Far. Thank you very much. Did I pronounce it anywhere near like how it's supposed to be pronounced? Or was it just entirely off? Long flume. I've seen that before, of course. It's not a bad idea. Log yammed. Long flume. I like long flume. That's a good one. Oh, yeah, I'll rename the merry-go-round. We can name that indeed Gwynagog. I like that. And then I think the Wonderland area, or Candy, Wonderland, the dessert area, desert, dessert. There are like 3 different ways to pronounce that. Dessert is the correct one. I think it's done. Eventually we'll have some paths leading out from like one here, maybe one somewhere here, you know, probably one here over the water. But that's, you know, from when we need them. I think next live stream I want to build something here so that we can bring that back. How big is the map? Yeah, pretty damn big. So we have a lot of space left. But at this tempo I'm gonna need a lot more than 8 episodes to build the same as I built last time. Because this is only 3 episodes. Which would have been like 1.5 episodes this size in the last one. Building like twice as slow. Which is nice because I'm putting more detail into it. And it's fun. Lol, dessert is the only wrong way to pronounce. Yeah, you have dessert, dessert, and the dessert. Hang on. Dessert, desert, and dessert. But dessert is also wrong. You have 3 different E sounds there. I said dessert, it's dessert. I did the syllable on the wrong emphasis. No, emphasis on the wrong syllable. I'm getting tired. It's pretty obvious from this. What themes you've got? Well, at the moment, pretty much none. Because we deliberately... I need to fix this all... If I remember, I'll fix this before next live stream before next Sunday. I'll fix this whole mess with the scenery. If I can. Maybe I can't, but we'll see. Let's hope. But that's all for next live stream. I think I'm... Hang on, let's quickly... No, I won't do that because they'll mess up the stream. I was gonna get like a full screen screenshot of this for the thumbnail for the live stream, but I'll do that later probably. Is that my state name wrong? I didn't say your state name, I think. What's guest Slane up to? He is walking. Let's see, we can follow him. Let's see, he has been in the park for about 3 hours, which is just the entirety of the live stream. He has paid $260 on 25 rides, which is an average of almost $10 a ride. He's been on only 8 different ones. Toldra, Dinosaur Egg Ride 1, Henk, the Lollipop Guild, Willy Wonka's Glass Elevator, Left Ball en Raketijsje. You're very happy and energetic and you need to be. I'm not hungry and great scenery. And you have a map, an umbrella and an on-ride photo of Ra. And here is some debug information. You have pathfinding history, you have pathfinding goal, you have a destination, you have positions, you have a sprite ID. I don't know too much about how to interpret these numbers. I mean, the position is quite easy, of course, just the number of pixels from one corner of the map, I suppose. Where's right ball? Well, they're right next to each other. There's left ball. Left ball's on the left, the right ball's on the right. GigaPark looking great, thank you. Are those custom path scenery? Nope. They are from the expansions in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. And they're bright and they scream in your face and they're perfect for the candy bit, which is finished. think it looks best from this angle. So I'm gonna see if I can find someone to raid on Twitch. Let's see, I have 3 people who I follow who are streaming, but none is streaming Roller Coaster Tycoon. Olafsson. Well, it's a charity stream. Come on, mute Twitch, please. Yes, thank you. Let's raid them. But first, thank you all for watching. As soon as I joined, I saw I'm going to raid who I can raid on Twitch. Yeah, it's the end of the stream. Sorry for that, but you know, the stream will have to end at some point, so someone's going to be unhappy. Thank you very much for doing this live stream with me. It was a fun one. And we built a weird, but also neat candy-themed area. And we had some nice conversations. So I'll send you to Olfason. Did I copy that correctly? I did. You know, give them your hype, your love, whatever you always do in a raid. You're always wonderful, so that's fine. I don't have to tell you anything. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Goodbye and good night. Yep,